What's up, guys? This is Casey and welcome back to the channel. So today we will be reviewing the latest Webull desktop version 4.1 that was just recently released. So Webull, as you guys are aware, is an excellent online and also desktop platform trading brokerage company, and they have an abundant and array of tools and solutions for day traders and swing traders and option traders and so forth. So today we're going to be reviewing the latest updates and the features that they have recently added to the latest platform, and just kind of go over the overall layout as well for the Webull desktop. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and let's just kind of hop into it. So as you can see here on the screen right now, I've already downloaded the latest version. I got this from the Webull.com website itself. So when you go there, you will see the options for your Macintosh or your Apple and so forth. So I'm on a Windows machine, so I downloaded the latest. I've installed it, and the moment you run the software, you get the login screen here. So it gives you the version number, gives you the updates for the widgets, customizable layouts, brokerage account features, and better performance. So we'll go ahead and do the Start Now option. One of the things I like to do is I like to switch over to the dark theme because I think it's a little bit easier to see and to also give demonstrations than just to trade with. So to do that, go to the settings, go to the dark, and if we're lucky, it's going to switch over. There we go. All right, awesome. Okay, cool. So should be a little bit easier. As you guys can tell, the layout over here is very similar to the previous version. Layout up here, they've changed the look and style, if you will, kind of the skin of the desktop. But let's just kind of go over the widgets over to the left and kind of work our way down. So, all right, so we'll start over to the top here. As you can see, it's just kind of the ability to be able to expand and to contract. All right, so on the main tab, which is actually, let's start with the watch list. So over to the top left-hand side, I can immediately see that the first thing that Webull has done is that they've simplified the layout. It looks to be a lot cleaner than the previous version. It doesn't appear to be as many, I should say, as cluttered on the desktop screen. So that's kind of a cool thing. So let's go over to the top left-hand side. This appears to just be ability to be able to move and navigate the screen over, so not a big deal with that. All right, so go to the watch list, and as you guys can see, I have a couple of tech stocks, so Apple, Google, and so forth. This is the watch list that I've already pre-created, which is a good thing. Over here to the right, you have the ability to detach the window if you wanted to remove it out of the Webull main page. Or what you can do is you can just remove the widget altogether, or you can edit your watch list. In order to do that, I need to put in my email information. So I will be putting that in. Okay, so I just put in my email and password account information. Now I paused the screen because what it does is it prompts you for your more personal information to also verify your account when you first log in. So it sends a pin to your personal cell phone number, and then it also is going to then ask you to verify your birthday, your month, and your day. So once you put that information in, it then takes you to your screen. And so once you get that, you guys can see here, I have a more robust list now of all of the watch lists for the stocks that I have set up, and it is quite a few actually. So that's kind of a cool deal. So they've definitely simplified the layout, that's for sure. I'm going to go back over here now, and let's just add in. Okay, yeah, so they've simplified it. So over here to the right, all right, so if we go over to the watch list, you can, if you want to remove that out, you can do add a widget. And as you can see here, they have a lot more options now, and it's a lot more simplified to be able to actually add features or functionalities for your widgets. So as they highlighted in this version, there's a lot more widget options than was previously allowed. So I typically like to do my stocks for my trade list, for my watch list, which is a really big one. All right, so I have that, and maybe let's say I want to do, let's see here. I'm just trying to think of some options. Let's say I want to do an order flow, and let's say I want to do an order entry. All right, so I got those over here. All right, so we just take them. So we'll just take these and pop these up into the corner. Okay, and that's kind of how we can work that out. All right, so they pretty much allow you to really customize your watch list screen a lot more easier than what you could before. So that's a very cool feature. I actually really like that a lot. So Let's see, take a look here. So that is that. As you guys can also see, as I'm moving this around, it's giving you the ability to kind of snap these over, right? So you can take it over here, and then you can kind of take this one over here, and then it just kind of helps snap those into place. So that's how you're going to work that out. I mean, this is pretty much a screen to where you can. They call it a watch list screen. I call this more of a trade screen because this is where you really can just not only just do watch lists, but you can actually initiate trades. So over to the stock screen. Kind of the same thing. So as you guys can see here, you have your watch list that you probably already have on the screen over here as well. But you also have a chart and you also have an order entry. So very similar to the original watch screen, depending on how you have that set up. So I'm going to actually go ahead and close this out here. So as I'm clicking on the stocks, let's just say we're going to click on Tesla. As you can see on the stock screen, you have it immediately snaps over to give you the current stock price action for the time period that you have chosen. All right, so we have that, and on right now, this is looks like this is actually on our daily layout. So we may want to change that over. Sorry, but we may want to change that over, snap that out, and choose that. Yeah, that's on the daily, but look, on the 1 minute, excuse me, on the intraday. But if you wanted to change it over, you'll do that down here. You can choose your ranges automatically, your intervals, and so forth. I typically like to trade on the daily. I do basically. I use basically clear indicators for support levels to really buy in. I've really transitioned a lot to being more of a swing trader and long-term investor than a day trader. So for the most part, recently. But if you guys are really interested in the day trading aspect, this is a great tool to use that for. So we go over to the Tesla. As you can see here, you have a lot of different technical indicators that you can choose from. It gives you the default ones that people like to use the most. You have the moving average indicators. You have the Bollinger Bands. You have the volume weighted average, the VWAP over here, the moving average convergence divergence, the relative strength indicator, and your volume. All right. So if you guys want to use all those, you have the ability to do so. If you want to remove them, you just X them out and kind of go from there. From a setting standpoint, you can click over to the little box here. You can also choose specifically which indicators that you want to use, and then be more. You can actually then get more technically specific as to how you want to introduce those to the chart. So that's a good deal. All right, over to the right, as you guys can see here, you have level 2. If you've purchased that, I have not purchased level 2 information. I don't have their real-time stock market level 2 stock quote information, but if you do have that on a monthly basis, you'll get their level 2 data. They also have the order balance and flow. This is a new feature as well. So if you want to see if there's a high order imbalance to the buyer to the sell side, this will appear if you have their additional services that they offer. If you want to make a quick trade over with the stock that you've currently clicked on, you can do that. So let's just say, I don't know, let's buy some Microsoft. You can click on, choose your limit order types, market stop and stop and so forth. And then of course you can just kind of choose to buy in blocks as well. So if you want to do like a quick buy 100 or sell 100 and so forth, you can do that. Now I don't want to go too in length, too deep in the weeds because this is a high level. But if you guys are not familiar with order types already, you have a limit order type. Limit order type on the buy side basically just means you want to buy it at a cheaper price than what it's currently at. So Microsoft is at 210.15. I say, you know what? I want to buy it when it gets down to 208. Right? That's my limit that I want to buy it at. Then you can just do that. You can put that order in at a buy, and then when Microsoft hits 208, the order will execute. All right, you can do a buy stop, which is the opposite. So if you want to try to catch a stock that's moving upward, and you say, hey, you know what, this is looking pretty good, but when it breaks that 218 range, I want to hop in. So you can do that, and then you would just put a stop in at the 218 range, put your order in, hit the buy, and then obviously choose your quantity and so forth. And then once you do that, once it hits 218, you'll automatically be executed. And it's the opposite. It's the opposite for the sell side. And then for market is just pretty self-explanatory. It just says get me in at the price that it's currently at right now. So that's that. All right. So over here as well, what you can also do, okay, you guys can see if you don't like this screen because you're not going to use it, you can remove it. So as you can tell, every single widget, it gives you the ability to be able to actually remove it if you're not going to use the screen. Now over here to the active trader side, you have the ability to do a buy market, buy bid, this just basically, it gives you the ability to be able to execute orders at a quick price. So let's say, for example, you wanted to actually buy a stock, but only on the best bid price, right? Bid price means you're not willing to meet the buyer what they want to sell it for. You want to buy it at the price lower than that. So you would say, hey, I want to put it on the buy bid. But if you're like, you know what, I don't care about the nickel and dime and a few cents. I want to go ahead and buy it at the best ask prices, which is the lowest price somebody's willing to sell it for. They can just put an order in for the buy ask, and then this basically ensures that your order will always fill. If you do one on the buy bid, then that means you're waiting for the order to come, or I should say for the price action to come down to the price that you're willing to buy it at. So that's that. Let's take a look here. Over here to I wanted to also show you guys the additional widgets that you can add as well. If you have any positions for that particular stock, you'll notice that you'll have that down here. I don't particularly have any positions in Tesla at the moment, but if I did, you would see that down here to the right-hand side. One of the things you guys can also see here is this gives you an indication as to whether or not you have real-time quotes. I do. This is lit. Also here, this tells you if you are currently following the stock, and if you are, which watch list. This also tells you over here whether it's marginable or not. So if you wanted to buy Tesla on margin, let's say if you had like $5,000, you wanted to buy $10,000 worth, this is just giving you your margin requirement. So day trading leverage means that you can buy up to 4 times that amount. So if you have $5,000, you can buy up to $20,000 in Tesla for the day, but you have to close out at least half of that. You can only have up to double what you currently have, in stocks for overnight. So if you have $5,000 total in your cash of what you own and not borrowing on margin, you can buy up to $10,000 and hold that overnight. That's what the two to overnight leverage long 2 means. And then over here, this just tells you if it's shortable or not. And it tells you what the leverage amount is. So it's a 3-to-1 leverage. So you have to maintain 30% of the price at all times when you want to short this stock. And then down here, you can see there's the time and sales. So you can see those coming through real time. So you can see those coming through real time. You see the orders. You can see the size amounts. You can see the volume, price, and so forth. That's a really cool feature. This is the time and sales, and this kind of gives you an indication as to not only if people are buying more than selling, but it also gives you an indication based on the speed as to how quickly someone's buying or selling. And then over here to the options, I don't really engage a lot into the options. I know a lot of people do, particularly on like stock twits and whatnot. They're really high option buyers. I can't really tell you a lot about this other than just that I know that there are different strike prices. Based on whether you are buying calls or selling calls and so forth, and whether you're buying the daily, weeklies, or monthlies, but that'll probably be a video for another day. Now let's go over to the market. So this is a really fancy looking screen. Don't be intimidated by it. It's not super complicated. It kind of just gives you the high level overall direction and condition of the markets. So let's kind of start from top left all the way down to the bottom. So this is just basically the indication chart for the markets as a whole. These are the top 3 indices. So you have the S&P, you have the Dow, you have the NASDAQ. So this just pretty much tells you whether or not the market's going up and down today. Net inflows, outflows, this is telling you how much money is flowing in and out of the indexes. So more money is kind of flowing out of the indexes in the NASDAQ today than it is for the NYSE. And then this is pretty much just telling you of all of the stocks on the indicators, how many are positive or how many are negative for the day and over what percentages. So that's that. So it's kind of like a pretty flat day for the most part. Over to the right, if you guys are into international indices, this will give you an indication of the FTSE, which is over in the UK. It gives you also the Nifty and the Shin, the Hang Seng, the Shanghai, and the FTSE and so forth. So this just gives you an indication as to whether overall markets throughout the world are green or are kind of in line with each other. And then this is kind of giving you the news for the most part. So if you click on that, it'll open up a screen. You get the latest news that it's showing you for stocks or what have you, so that's a cool deal. And over here to the right, this is just pretty much giving the calendar, right? So this is just letting you know anything that's coming on from a calendar standpoint for earnings, news releases, things of that nature. And this is giving the 52-week highs, hot stocks, pretty much high-level things. I'm not even sure you guys will use this information, but if you do have the ability to kind of go in and to actually leverage this. You do have the ability for IPOs as well. I stay away from IPOs. They're too volatile. They're too uncertain. Usually IPOs are for people who are pretty much already bought pre-initial public offerings, and a lot of the times I find that they just want to offload into the public. So sometimes you can get pretty good deals at IPOs, but for the most part, I pretty much avoid them until the public offerings hashes out what it's really valued at. And then over here, this is just telling the top performing stocks for the day. This is telling the most actively traded, so it may not necessarily be the top performing, but it's the most a number of shares that have been traded. And then this is telling the hot ETFs, the exchange traded funds. So these are telling the ones that are moving the most, that are up and that are down the most. And right now it's the S Dow, which is the short Dow, and the Pro Shares ultra short and so forth. So that's that. And we can go over to the screener. The screener is a little bit cleaner layout from the previous version. But for the most part, the screener is just very similar. You can, just pretty much choose your screener name. I'm going to call that my bomb watch list, right? US, choose your exchanges. I like NASDAQ. I'm a NASDAQ guy. I like tech stuff. And it'll filter out based on that. Right, so we can do that. And then you can also just kind of go through here and choose additional filters. You want to do the price, the volume, the percentage change, and so forth. You can do that. All right, so if you want to only look for certain stocks, for certain price amounts, you can do that if you like. So that's kind of a good deal. All right, but as of right now, don't particularly care about that, but you have that option. One of the things you can also do is when you're over at the watch list, you can select, let's just say, Agile. So if I wanted to click that, if you notice, it immediately snaps me back to the stock chart ability, and then I can go over to the charts, and then I can go ahead and decide to execute a trade over here on the right-hand side, or choose whatever I want to do. So that's kind of a cool feature as well. All right, so that's a good deal. And then let's kind of go over to the customized layout. So the customized layout is where you can go if you want to just flat out have predefined templates for your overall layout, or if you want to do your own custom layout. I won't get a lot into the customized layouts too much, just because it could, you could kind of go on for days for that. But if you wanted to do that, you can go over to the customized layout and you can choose your specific, layouts of how you want to set up your screen charts. So this was very similar to what they had in the previous version, but it is a lot cleaner than it was previously. I can tell you that right now. So it's a lot easier to navigate and so forth. So I really like this a lot. As you guys can see, you just have lots of options: alerts, alert messages, system messages, your market, your inflows. I mean, however you want to trade, you have that ability here, which is a really awesome feature. I have a feeling more than likely a lot of people will be inside of this the most, and they'll do that just simply because they want to make sure that that they have it customized the way they want it. So that's kind of a cool deal. Let's see here. Over here, trading verification. Let's put in my top secret. All right, sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't have any notifications popping up here. So this is my kind of my entry-level baby account here. So for the account features, so once you go ahead and log in, it gives you your net account value, your total market, your cash, and so forth. It gives you your profit and loss. You also have your P&L, your dividends, your margin interest. You kind of go over for the time frames that you can choose for. It gives you your net account values. I've actually withdrawn quite a bit of money out of this account, so that's why that's down. Gives you your stocks, tells you your risk level, your maintenance requirements. This is actually really important for day traders. So if, let's say, for example, you are under the $25,000 limit, you need to make sure that you do not exceed 3 day trades per 5 business days. So what that means is that if you buy and sell a stock within the same business day, and that also includes pre-market or after hours, that constitutes 1 day trade. All right. You cannot do more than 3 within 5 business days. So if you do 1 on a Monday, and you do 1 on a Wednesday, and you do 1 on a Friday, you can start another day trade that Monday. If you do 1 on a Monday and 2 on a Tuesday, you can't do another day trade again until at least the following Monday, when you'll be able to do 1. So no more than 5 day trades. If you do more than, no more than 3 day trades. If you do more than 3 day trades within a 5 business day period, what will happen is you'll get hit with the pattern day trader rule, and then they will tell you that you have to get your account up to $25,000, or they'll kind of hit you with with the margin call, and then your account they'll basically forgive it if you do once, maybe sometimes even twice. But if you go beyond that, a lot of the times they'll lock your account for 90 days. And then after that, if you do it beyond 90 days, then I think they'll end up just flat out just closing out your account. So you want to make sure you definitely adhere to that. Just so you guys are aware, it's not a Webull thing. Every single brokerage company requires this. This is an SEC thing. They did this to protect people from basically just getting taken advantage of ridiculously by the algorithms and by the big hedge funds who have all the money and all that stuff. So it's really to protect excuse me, the retail. Now, from a paper trading standpoint, if you guys don't really have much money at the moment, but you want to kind of get a feel for trading as a whole, you can do that. You can do the template day traders paper trading options, or you can do the U.S. stock paper trading options. So depending on how you want to do it. So if you want to go to the day trading options, keep in mind that this is a paper trading account, right? So you can kind of have at it. You can buy, you can sell, you can do whatever you want to do. Go ahead and do an execute on the market of the ERIC. You can do just pretty much however you want to, do your buys. So that's kind of a good deal. I'm not a big fan on that particular widget, so I'll close that out. And I'll probably close this out as well. But if you wanted to do some active purchasing or trading just to kind of get a feel for the market, you do have that ability to do that. So that's a really cool feature. And over here is your Learning Center. The Learning Center is where you will get a lot more of the information for the latest changes that have taken place for the latest version, which is 4.0. So you can see here, it just kind of gives you the kind of the walkthrough on what the widgets are, also how to resize your widgets, also the overlap of the widgets, all right, how to move your widgets around, how to add the widgets, the layout, and so forth. As you guys can tell, this is a very widget-based friendly stock platform, and it's really designed to be that way so that it's easily customizable, but not too customizable to where it's overly complicated for the average user. So like I told you guys before, I've been using Webull for years. I love their platform. As I stated to you guys, this is not an advertised or sponsored video. This is just someone who uses Webull and has for years. I think I was one of the first people on their platform, and they're really my main go-to. I think they're just an awesome solution. Whether you guys are a day trader, whether you are a swing trader, whether you're kind of a professional, or whether you are just kind of getting into the markets, they have a lot of options for you guys to be able to do that. They even walk you through a lot of video tutorials. So if you wanted to figure out how to do the active widget traders, if you wanted to go through and figure out how to do the customized layouts and so forth, you have that ability. So that's a cool deal. If you want to be able to contact them, you can do that. Go to the Contact Us. Go over here. You can choose an option to do that, and it will give you the breakdown on, choosing a screenshot or images or whatnot. And then it'll give you your layout of what's going on with that. And then over here is the settings. The settings, as I already showed you guys initially, this is where you will do your theme, your light to the dark. All right, you can kind of alternate that. And you can choose your trade, and you can also choose the trade settings. Where are we at here? A little delay there. I think that's more on my laptop than I actually think it is the software. I'm running a lot of virtualization on the back end right now, so that's probably what's causing that. But you can choose over here your default trade widgets and so forth, your take profit orders, your stop loss orders, the default quantity shares that you wanted to leverage, and then of course you can go over and choose your account security as well. So that's kind of a good deal. And that's pretty much it, guys. For the most part, we've really covered a lot of the software. We showed you guys how to initiate trades. We showed you how to create watch lists, how to do your widgets, how to check your profit and losses, how to do your paper trading account. So a super, super awesome platform. In addition to that, Webull is currently offering a promotion right now, which they have been for quite a while, to where if you guys are new to the solution, if you're new to the platform, you can create a new account if you use the promo code in the video below, I should say, in the heading title, and you guys can get 2 free stocks. So that's a good way to not only get a chance to use the platform and not only also support the channel, but also make sure that you guys can get some stocks as well that also help get you into the trading game. So I really do hope that you guys found this very valuable. If you did find this valuable, please make sure you guys leave a thumb up. Please make sure you guys also leave a comment as well. That's really important for the algorithm so that they know that this is a good video and that people are really engaged and everyone does appreciate the content and so forth. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.